Hi, Todd Garneau here with Three Creeks Capital. Today I'm going to discuss with you the Medicare income related monthly adjustment amount, what we know as IRMAA. This is when your Medicare Part B premiums increase due to the income that you've earned maybe 2 years prior that exceeds the threshold. So you start going through what we call the IRMAA bracket, this means test. So we're going to go through both pages. I'm going to show you how to fill this out and what we've seen that works for clients in getting this appealed. So let's talk about page one. It's very basic. Okay, so on page one, you want to just simply put your name and your social security number. This bottom chart here just shows you also in your personal letter that you received from Social Security and Medicare that says they're raising your premium because you made too much money. They give you that number, give you your new premium amount. Okay, so again, page one, very basic, no confusion here. Now, let's move on to page two. Page two is a little different. This is when you have to start completing all the information in these boxes here, okay? So you can see I went through and started filling this out. So what do we think about in this first section? Very, very important here. Most of my people, it's either death of a spouse or work stoppage. Rarely do I use these others, but you want to let Medicare know why your income has been reduced in step one. This is very, very important. And then you need to let them know when it started being reduced. Hey, in February of 2026, my income went down because I retired, and that would fall under work stoppage. And then here you would just simply put February of 2026. So that's pretty easy overall, okay? Now, let's move on to step two. This is where the confusion lies for a lot of people. Do I fill out step two? Do I fill out step three? What do I do here, Todd? Okay, so step two, here's the key. This is reduction in income that's already occurred. It's already happened. You're not receiving the income anymore. That's the key in this section. If you're simply saying, hey, in the near future, I'm going to have this big reduction of income because of retirement, don't raise my Medicare Part B premium. Well, that's in the next step. Let's assume in step two, though, your reduction in income has occurred. What do? Pick the year in which it occurred. So in 2025, I had a much smaller adjusted gross income than I did a couple years ago. What Medicare bases your monthly premium on is your income tax return from 2 years prior. So if your income's gone down over that couple years, you can put right in here, hey, in 2025, my income went down to whatever it was, 100 grand, pick it, okay? And be truthful because they're gonna look at that tax return anyway. Then pick which filing status you are, okay? Really important here for that particular year. So in 2025, I'm married filing jointly, and my income went down to $100,000. I had zero tax exempt interest of my munis or my tax exempt money market fund. Okay, great. Now, we're sort of done there. Okay, this anticipated reduction is for future years. Well, we're picking that it's already happened. Okay, so we can ignore step three and move on, which we'll get to here in a second. Okay, so let's talk about step three. What happens if it's anticipated? Okay, so in step three, what you want to think about is any future income reductions. Okay, so in this particular case, you can see here I've put in yes, I'm going to complete the blocks below for next year. So for 2026, I anticipate my income, again, let's just use that 100,000. My income next year is going to be 100,000. Okay, I have zero tax exempt. Great, I'm still married filing jointly. So this is important. Why? Because what Social Security is going to determine is whether or not you're still above or below the threshold in which your Medicare Part B premium is increasing. And so in this particular case, you can see I put in here, I anticipate in 2026 that my income is going to be $100,000. Okay, I'm still married, filing jointly. So great, okay, not a problem. Where do I see the issues? It's right here. It's in step 4. That makes all the difference. You could put whatever you want on the front of that form, but if you do not have proof that your income has gone down and they can see that you're making less than you were just a couple years ago, then you're not going to win the appeal. Okay, so in this particular case, step 4 is really important. So let's go through that. Attach any evidence and mail this along with your original documents or certified copies will come back to you. Okay, so attach all this evidence. What kind of evidence? Is that my tax return? Is that a letter from my employer that I terminated, that I'm no longer working there? What am I showing them, right? So that's what you need to think about here. So what they give you a couple of suggestions. Evidence that you've had the life-changing events, maybe your divorce decree, your marriage certificate, like I said, a letter from your employer of your last day of employment, those types of things. The one that I find works the most, or is the most beneficial, I guess, is your federal tax return. So if your income's gone down, you filed your tax return, it's an easy proof of evidence to say, hey, I know a couple years ago I was making a couple $100,000. Now I'm only making $100,000. You can see on my most recent tax return. That tends to be the best proof. Now, that's not always the easiest because when you fill out your appeal, maybe you haven't filed your tax return yet. So other evidence besides that, current pay stubs, like I said, termination letters, certificate of marriage, death certificate of a spouse, those types of things. And then what I always tell people is write a letter in here. Okay, just because we're submitting this doesn't mean you can't put any else in there. Go ahead and write a letter and say, hi, to whom this may concern, I wanted to let you know my name's Todd and my income's gone down, and I know that you were based on my Med B premium based on my tax return in 2024. I just wanted to share with you in 2026, I've stopped working, my spouse passed away, whatever that life-changing event is, go ahead and put all that in there and then let them know, hey, I've supplied you these various documents as evidence to my income dropping, and I hope that you will support the decrease in my Med B premium on a monthly basis. Key here, go ahead and sign, put your phone number, your mailing address, those types of things so that if they need to get in touch with you, they will. Almost always, they will not reach out to you via phone. They will send you a letter and let you know if you won your appeal or not. Okay, so this is something that most people don't take the time to do, and I have found that probably 8 out of 10 times that we do this, we actually win the appeal for clients. And so this is just something that takes a little bit of time and effort, but it's worth it because that monthly premium will drop each month down to the bracket it's supposed to be and hopefully save you thousands of dollars per year in additional costs. So if you have questions about this, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to help. Watch some of our other videos on Medicare and how to plan properly all your distributions so that it doesn't impact your Med B premiums. Thank you.